Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple six figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. All right, everybody, welcome to the Profit Lifestyle. I'm your host, Scott Carpenter, and I have a special guest on today. We have Penny Foskaris, who's the CEO of Red Light Pro Devices. And I wanted to have Penny on because a lot of us are getting into recovery services in some way, shape, or form, dabbling it, looking at it, doing it ourselves, potentially looking at it to offer it as an additional service that we have inside of our gyms or whatever it may be. But the recovery side of our industry is something that's big, it's growing, it's getting a lot of buzz. And red light is one of those things. Red light therapy is one of those things I've seen a lot. I know a lot of people doing it, but I myself know very, very little. And I really wanted to have the expert on to teach me, to teach you about it, and then also talk about how it can be even integrated into your business very easily. And at least whether you want to do it as a great additional revenue stream, but you can talk about it intelligently as well. So I thought it'd be beneficial for everybody. So Penny, welcome to the show.
Hi, Scott. So glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Penny, so give everybody a little background on kind of like a little bit about you, because I know you've been in health, fitness, nutrition for almost a decade as well, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of, you've also had your own red light therapy, like physical brick and mortar location. So give everybody the background on you a little bit so they kind of know where you're coming from.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so I started in health and wellness, a nutritionist, also health coach, life coach, and I opened my first clinic about 10 years ago and started in Newport Beach, and then I went kind of closer to my house in Orange County. But I have been helping people with weight loss, recovery, rehab. I started my red light therapy company. We're going to talk about that today, about 4 years ago. And I'll tell you, when I first got introduced to red light, I was like, this can't do weight loss. What are you talking about? I was introduced as for weight loss. I didn't realize all the other benefits because, the thing is red light has been used since the late 1800s to help autoimmune patients in other countries. Okay. People think it's something new, but I'm so grateful for all these podcasters that have been talking about light therapy because they've been using it, that people are like, what is this? Is this a fad? I'm like, no, it's not. Actually, I thought it was a fad. I started probably 8 years ago is when I first got introduced to red light therapy. I said, it can't work. I went for weight loss. My friend bought it for his clinic. First machine with 6 pads on it, face dome, was like $28,000. I said, you are wasting your money.
Wow.
Okay. And I went down to his office, got wrapped, and I saw a difference on my body from the first session that I invested in the same machine a week later, because I was like, holy cow, this will make my life easier. And my patients will just be so thrilled with the results, right? And so I was helping weight loss patients. I mean, my clients would lose about 2 pounds of fat each time they came in. When I wrapped them, it was like mind-boggling. And when I talk about fat loss part, I have an InBody 570 in the clinic. That's one of the first things that I purchased. And I was like, so I could see it was fat, not water and muscle. And they weren't dealing with the hanging skin that they would deal with when I would even help them with weight loss, because that was something I couldn't help with. So I was helping patients. I had a doctor sending me his patients for neuropathy. They're getting to feel their feet, their feet again, their hands. I had people coming in with Achilles tendons tear, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these ruptures. And they were having to have someone drive them in, even though I was helping them, and they were healing like in a third of the time. It was crazy. I asked the company that was making my devices, can you make smaller units for home? Because who can afford a $20,000, unit for home? Like that was ridiculous, right? And people kept asking me, what do you have for at home? My elbow knee, because when you wrap it here, it feels so much better. I said, I don't have anything. And we were testing all kinds of different ones and they weren't working. So I asked the company to make smaller devices. They weren't interested. So I took it upon myself to work with engineers with another company, and Red Light Pro devices came about after a lot of back and forth and making sure, because the thing is if the lights are too far apart, we're not getting all of the cells and how it heals. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to get into that, but this is where
Yeah.
it was a need as to why I started the company. So we can
That's
have it
that's
just as
cool.
powerful, you know.
Yeah. And that's just like a true entrepreneur is like, hey, this is how it needs to be done. We need to make this easier, more portable, things we can do at home, and it's got to be done right and to be effective, and nobody's doing it. So I'm just going to create this
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That's
That's what
awesome.
happened.
And yeah, I mean, this is stuff that I've wanted. I mean, anything, guys, listeners, anything that Joe Rogan talks about, right? With injury recovery, health, nutrition, workouts, sells. So like you look at like these top podcasters, and a lot of them are talking about the benefits of red light therapy. I am not, I listen to some Joe Rogan, but not tons and tons. I've heard him mention it and how it's improved his eyesight maybe
Yeah.
two or three different times. And
Mhm.
again, his listener base is so massive, and he's not the only one talking about these things. So like that's why I wanted to have Penny on, because I am woefully undereducated in this and wanted to learn about it. And then what's neat about what she has is that for those of you who want to help people get results in these different ways with this technology, they can help. It isn't something now where you have to invest in a $28,000 machine to
Right.
do, which I know because I started first learning about red light from a guy, Jake, who I worked with when I first started as a personal trainer. I don't know, 17 years ago or something like that. I don't know. He didn't get into it right away, but recently we both worked for Lifetime Fitness as trainers. I became a gym owner. He started working independently. And then he kind of like closed that off. Like he was a straight up bodybuilder type dude who was going down the tubes, had big sleep apnea, and then he went down a rabbit hole and he cleaned up everything, learned primal movement, and he just looks and feels better. You know what I mean? And then he got really into red light therapy,
Mhm.
which we just, and I'm an amateur, so I need you to explain this later. But his whole big thing is like the modern caveman. It's because we got blue light everywhere. We're not outside in the sun, all this stuff. But I've seen his physical and mental journey since doing these things. And to the point where he was renting space as an independent personal trainer out of a gym, he now rented like the room to do the big red light therapy booths. And now
Yeah.
this is how, I mean, he does personal training too, but he makes a lot of extra money with that. And he's got those big things. And what's neat is like you can take this and you don't need necessarily all of it. You can do it inside of your gym for that extra money. But
Mhm.
then there's also ways where you can just, and we'll get into it, but you can either carry inventory like from Penny too, or even I think you do like where you can just buy it and drop ship it like
Yeah,
in a
we drop
hoodie
ship.
thing.
We also have, people do rentals in their wellness centers as well, chiropractic offices. We'll talk about that. But it's
Yeah.
funny how you said how your friend transitioned to red light. Like once you know something, you can't unknow something or learn.
Mhm.
Like I saw so many miraculous things happen in the clinic or at home. Like I had a patient, like you talk about red light, for the eyes. Like even I'll tell you, if I go on to her, my eyesight, I've been wearing glasses since I was in junior high. I'm 57 now. I don't wear glasses anymore because of red light therapy. I have so it was actually a red light customer because she wasn't in the clinic. So she was one that had purchased online. Her doctor told her to, purchase from us.
Mhm.
And she was just using on the back of her neck. That's all. She's 67 years old. She went to get her eyesight checked and for the, like her annual checkup, and her eyesight improved for the first time ever. And the doctor was like blown away. She was like, if this, I mean, she literally had one of our little pads on her neck. Okay. That's all
Mhm.
she did. And she's like, if that's what that can do, I need the one for the face. So I can do the front of the eyes too, right? Because we have everything that runs through our spinal cord. Every single part of our body are cells, right? And I really think that if a lot of people don't know about the red light, I really like to short as to what it really does and why it does so many amazing things. I was talking at a conference the other day. It was like women's conference, and somebody was shaking their head when I said that my eyesight came back. And this other lady, I'm like, well, look at the research. There's like studies that show it, right? I'm not
Yeah.
just making it up.
That's what Joe Rogan was really hyping it up with. The fact that he
Yeah.
doesn't really need to use his glasses anymore. His eyesight has improved.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing because like your eyes are everything, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, can you first give us a highlight of all the different ways like red light therapy helps and the different ways you can apply it? And
Sure.
then we can get in some kind of rudimentary how that works. You know
Well,
what I mean?
how it works. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So red light therapy can be used for injury and recovery. So, for example, like we have like I want to show like this particular. This is like for a knee or elbow, shoulder. Right.
Hmm.
The beautiful thing about this is you just put it on the body. 15 minutes. You just sit there. You can also, while you're sitting in the car, right? We have a plug for the car, so you can. I know where it's at here. Plug into the car. I fractured my wrist, so bone fractures, right? I did it 4 times a day in my car, didn't have to stop and sit down.
Hmm.
And I healed the 3 fractures in 1 month. The doctor said, this is crazy. The occupational therapist is like, oh, this is an anomaly. I said, no, it's red light therapy. Look at the studies. And so we can use it for injuries, eyesight, hair regrowth, right? Because it's cells that need to be regenerated. We can fat loss. That's a fun one. People who can't feel their feet, neuropathy, we're regenerating the nerves. And we can do skin tightening and actually also help the brain. My sister, after 2.5 years of having a stroke, she
Hmm.
was still struggling 2.5 years later with her speech. And she was like, I by say. And in 25 days, with only 4 20-minute sessions, because that's all she had time to do, I'm like, that's it. But she improved to A, B, C, D, E, F, G in that small of time. And that's the only thing she changed after 2.5 years. The videos are on our YouTube channel, like to see.
Cool.
It's amazing. So if someone has an injury, arthritis, if they're looking for weight loss, even skin tightening, like I don't do Botox or fillers. I'm 57. I've actually reversed my biological age by 11 years now with the red light therapy. It's pretty, that's really my main thing that I do. It's pretty amazing. So it's
That's
great.
awesome. So it's helps with skin,
Yep.
helps with muscle, ligaments,
Recovery.
tendons, bone, right?
Yep.
Hair,
Here.
all of those things. And then so that's great. So it can really help recover, repair. Um, and then what are the main mechanisms? How does that work? What does red light do to
Yeah.
the body, to these cells to kind of like make
Yes.
this
One,
happen?
and I'll tell you why it works on so like people say, how can it do so many things? There's like over 6 or 8,000 studies. Like, I think about 8,000 studies on what light therapy does. But the mechanics of it and why it works so well is every single part of our body is a cell. Okay.
Hmm.
Cells in our skin, our eyeballs, our nerves, everything is a zillion cells. The red light therapy goes in there. Wherever it's going in there, and our cells have mitochondria, which produce adenosine triphosphate, ATP. That's the battery of the cell. So the light therapy goes in and it helps the mitochondria produce more ATP, more energy. So it basically it's letting the body heal itself. That's what it's doing. It's reducing inflammation. Even what's great is we had a patient that came into the chiropractic office where I was at, and she had torn her meniscus, had this big old brace from her doctor, barely could move her leg. We wrapped her knee 15 minutes, and I said, how much can you bend it? She went almost to her chest. Now, and her pain was almost completely gone because the pain was not really from the torn meniscus. A little bit was, but it was so inflamed, right?
Yeah.
When you squeeze your finger, after a while, it's going to start hurting. There's not an injury, but the blood flow restriction and it's just piling up is a lot more painful than the injury itself.
Yeah, so it will like help blood flow enter right into that
Yeah.
area and
Even,
everything.
we didn't talk about even strains and like spraying ankles.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the chiropractic office go like to half I mean, it's amazing. The
Yeah.
inflammation going down to half.
Yeah, well, I did something to my back last week with just it just happens occasionally with like in my mid to upper back, right?
Okay.
And you having, we set this podcast up like, a few weeks ago and stuff like that. We're going to set this up. And then you had sent me because you're like, I want you to actually use it
Yeah.
too. So you'd sent me one.
Mhm.
And I had been using it, and like I did it for 2 nights where I'm having that issue in my back, and it's probably from martial arts, whatever it is. But like it was kind of intense when that happened because I couldn't even like get that full breath in. You know what I mean with what was going on back there.
Hmm.
And I tell you what, I so I laid down at like I did it before going to bed, and I would just read the book and put the pad back there.
Yeah.
And guys, it's really easy. You can either plug it directly into the wall, right? But it also comes with a car charger too, which is
Hmm.
actually really, really handy. And then you can set the timer on it, and you can kind of set the intensity on it. But I did
Hmm.
it for 20 minutes one night, 25 minutes the second night because I'm like, oh shit, that's working pretty well. Let me go like a little bit longer the next night.
And the results?
And it feels great. Like I have no problems. Even after the first night, I could like take that full breath in, and then after the second night, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. I also like the fact that like it does warm you up a little. Granted, I was on the level 5, I think it is the most intense one, right?
Yeah.
And you can actually feel that warmth, which feels really good
Yeah. It's
when you
because
have
the
those
cells are
those kind of hurting
regenerating.
areas.
Yeah. It's not even just I'll tell you, if you put the pad up like this, like I've had them on, it's not even
Hmm.
warm right
Hmm.
now. It's been on for like 15 minutes because the warmth is coming from your cells getting energy.
Interesting.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what you're feeling. It's literally not even warm right now.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool.
And so walk me through like because I'm not an expert, right? I've used it twice. Well, 3 times. I use it again the next night. But
Uh-huh.
but uh does it like so if for those of you who are just listening, she's kind of holding up and she has different sizes of these, right? But maybe it's about a foot by a foot and a half, something like that, right? Probably by
The,
like 14 by 10 or something like that
I think those
is your
small ones,
small
11
one.
by 7 I just sent you. You have
There
the
you
big
go. 11 by 7, and it's just it's thin. It's super thin.
one. Hmm.
It's you can roll it up. It's like a mat. It's black on one side and then it has the red lights on
Yeah.
the inside on the other with like, plastic covering.
Yeah.
And you just apply that to where you need to do. And so, do you want to apply it like directly to the skin? Do you want it a little bit of ways away? For like when we talk about injuries and skin and
Yeah.
fat burning versus what about for your eyes? How do you do that?
Yeah, so for the injury, let's say for recovery and injuries, we put it directly on the skin because we want it to go underneath and penetrate into the
Hmm.
muscle, the tissue, the bone. For the eyes, it doesn't have to be on the eyes because it's still going into the eyes, and we can set it down to like level 3. There's 5 levels. And the nice thing is someone's doing, let's say this is the face dome, right? It's they put it on underneath their face, it's going to be a couple inches away, or they can
Hmm.
hold a pad in front of their eyes. Like what Joe Rogan talked about, like this, they were one study talked about like 3 minutes in the morning. When we do it in the morning, it helps reset the circadian rhythm. So
Right.
when people have told me, "Oh, well, I heard that you have to do it in the morning to repair the eyes," I can tell you that in the clinic, I have my patients that would come in at 9 o'clock or at 5 o'clock p.m. It doesn't matter if we're resetting the circadian rhythm, that's the morning we're doing it for repairing the cells in the eyes. It doesn't matter what time of day. And like Joe
Okay.
Rogan was doing his bed, like we had a bed in the clinic too, right? So, and these are again, even just this, the customer red light was literally because she regenerated for her, an issue was behind her neck. It was her nerves that she regenerated that helped her eyesight.
That's so cool. And then do you keep, because I know there's different settings on, there's like 2 or 3 settings for the actual lights.
Yeah.
Do you kind of use one for all of them, or is one better for the others? This is
You know
more,
what?
I'm
So
sure this is boring other
so the
people, but
reason
I
why
want
there's
to know
different
this.
settings, I'll share with you. So with the, let me just pull this out here. Um, it's neoprene and then the light. So when
Yeah.
you're on it and laying on it, because the neoprene is going to get compressed, you're closer to the lights, you'll start feeling it warmer.
Hmm.
If it's someone elderly and they don't have a lot of tissue, 5 is going to be really warm for them. So we'll
Yeah.
go down to 3 or maybe 2. The beautiful thing about all these, and that's I'm going to talk about to your audience, is there's a safety feature. These turn off automatically in 15 minutes. So they can't leave it on too long.
Hmm.
Now, so many people tell me I put it to like 2 sessions because it felt amazing. It feels so good because you're like, wow, I have energy from something. It's not a heating pad. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
does
even
feel really good.
It feels really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a blanket. We have a blanket too, so that's what I don't have the red light bed anymore that, because I have a smaller office now, but I use the blanket almost every day and
Yeah.
it helps
So,
me.
so guys, she has different sizes. So she's got like
Yeah.
the full blanket, and that's probably like if you're wrapping the abdomen and stuff like that, probably, or doing it like your full back up
Well,
to
the
your neck
blanket
and
is a full
stuff.
body. It's actually 27 inches wide by 5 feet long.
Oh,
It's
I
a
didn't know it got
blanket
that big.
blanket.
Holy cow. That's crazy. And so like how do these devices compare to like the beds and the other things like that
Yeah.
too?
So I will tell you because these were made when I made them, I wanted them to be just as powerful as my $28,000 system. That was
Hmm.
where my draw was. I was like, that's why I was not draw, but working hard to get them because we had the pad still and the bed. The bed, we would see the sessions happen in like 12 minutes. In 20 minutes, we can accomplish the same thing with these. But I will tell you, for the fat
Nice.
loss purposes, with the pads, I got sometimes 3 or 4 pounds off of someone in 2 days with the pads. With the bed, it was consistently about 2 pounds, but I thought it's just easier because I could turn that bed 4 times an hour. But
Hmm.
with these, honestly, the nice thing is people going to the gyms or wellness centers like, I want to lose weight, right? Not only is it going to open up fat cells, and we give you all the protocols like to teach them how to eat with it so they get faster results, but it's also helping. I've had people who had IBS, right? That's a traumatic every day to deal with that. And literally within like a couple of days of using it, they're like, I only had like 2 bouts in a month. That was like crazy. They were dealing with every day. So
Hmm.
it's helping with your metabolism too as well. And again, what's nice is, with the covers, like if somebody wanted to buy two, let's say for their gym or whatever, they could rent them out. You can get for $5, you get new covers. And so you're giving a new person a new pad basically, right? Because it's a brand new cover.
Yeah, yeah. So this is what I wanted to talk to too, because I found this very interesting because I talk with a lot of gym owners. I talk a lot with health, wellness, physical therapists, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And recovery is a big thing, right? People are looking for it all over the place.
Yeah.
Convenience is a big thing. So like,
Hmm.
especially for me, I I don't like running tons of errands. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna get a membership to a red light clinic down the street necessarily and go there specifically, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm kind of lazy like that, right?
Hmm.
So I love these at home. And you can, but other people like places where you already go, like the gym,
Hmm.
is a great like, and this you see this all over the trend. You know, I own gyms, but the gym that I go to, the open membership gym, is Lifetime Fitness. They have a separate recovery zone. And so many gyms and boutique gyms have them, are looking into adding into them. Some of them,
Yeah.
sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't because some do the full cold plunge and this. And you're in these very expensive machines.
Yeah.
And in some cases for boutique gyms, it's like, listen, you don't have the volume to make it worthwhile. Don't do that.
Right.
And sometimes but there's alternatives that you can do. Like, because, you can have a stretching table and you can put the Normatec boots on and those things.
Yeah.
You can have these here, these red light things, and do that very inexpensively. But then you can also have it where either they buy them from you,
Yeah.
which you have a way, which is I thought was pretty amazing, where they don't even have to worry about carrying inventory if they don't want to. But also you can do it, and you found this out by learning how to sell these really well. You can actually have them rent it,
Hmm.
and a lot of times they want to just keep it and just turn that rental, and you credit that rental into the purchase, I
Into the
think, right?
purchase. Yeah. Hmm.
And should they bring it back, you have the new neoprene sleeves that you can replace for like $5, I think you said.
Yeah. Yep.
And there you go. You're keeping the
Yeah.
same hardware and just putting the new sleeve on it,
Hmm.
right? Which is really neat too. So like
Yeah.
I think there's three ways that you've shown that you can make money with it, right? It's like you can buy inventory and sell it, right?
Hmm.
You can, well, actually, there's four. You can add just a recovery area to your thing and have people do it when they're in your location.
Yeah.
You can rent them. And then you can also, if you don't want to mess around with inventory, you actually have an affiliate program
Hmm.
where they can just buy it from you as the business
Website.
owner, and then
Hmm.
you
Yep.
drop ship it to them, I believe, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
And
It's yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong from our conversation, like when we started talking about this, but I think you said like per unit, I think you can profit like
Mhm.
180 to $480. Is that,
Around there, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a significant
yeah,
amount.
yeah. Yeah, the thing is I'm on a mission to like really help people not have to take drugs, right? Every time we take Motrin, it's bad for our body, right? And Advil
Yeah.
and Tylenol. So we can take these and reduce it. Also, we have the obesity epidemic, and with my weight loss protocols, and Red Light has helped me tremendously with those to help my patients. I've helped over 5,000 people lose weight and teach them how to keep it off. Like it's I want to be able to help these, and honestly, if you have something, you should be able to make money from it too, right? It's just not, why
Yeah.
should something take away from your business? This can enhance it. That's why I wanted, to like have zippers on everything. So you can just like take it back, and for $5 you get a new cover. And I'll tell you, when I had my office, we moved into this chiropractic office for a little bit, and that's where we were doing rentals in the office, but then they couldn't believe, they're like, you're going to rent it out. They're already your client. You already trust them, right?
Hmm.
And so now they take it home, and we had one person bring it back and not buy it. One person out of like 50, okay? Because they weren't explained to them what they were supposed to do, right? So if you show them and they try it and they're like, wow, like literally, I've never seen anything work so fast in 15 minutes to reduce inflammation and pain so quickly. So you have higher retention because our goal, everybody needs to make money with whatever they do, right?
Yeah.
But they're not in the business just to collect money, or they would have, a car wash or something that's just collecting. They have a gym or wellness center because they want to help people. And when you have more tools to be able to keep them there, because some people want to work out. That's my thing, was like, I would help people because I encourage them to go to the gym. We weren't a gym, but we need to work out for our health, right? Whether it's you wanting to build muscle or for cardiovascular benefit. But if you're in pain and you can't move, you can't do that. So these helps that.
Oh, you know what? As gym owner, this just gave me an idea. As gym owners, we all have clients that go on hold and pause
Hmm.
because there's an injury of some sort. And a lot of
Yeah,
times it doesn't happen inside of our gym. It happens somewhere else.
yeah,
And they got to do physical therapy, or they got to go to a chiropractor. They got to get this sorted before they can come back. This is a way that you can continue working with them
yeah.
and help them in the recovery and ensure they come back too by
Hmm.
having like a rental like this as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
literally you could say, oh my gosh, come try it
And then, yeah,
and
most
feel
people
it. You
buy
show them
it.
how to use it. And they honestly, people feel something from the first time. And they're like, wow, I need this. So, I mean, it's not just like the lady that we wrapped her knee, after the
Hmm.
meniscus tear. She was like, I'm buying that today. Like there was no
Mm,
pause. Like when we were testing, I was a pickleball tournament, and this lady had, her tennis elbow. It was hurting before she played. Okay. We wrapped her for 15 minutes. She went and played for 2.5 hours, did not aggravate it, which is crazy. And her husband's like throwing money at the booth. He's like, we need this. We're getting this today. Here's money. Like
yeah.
that's how significant it makes a difference
And
on
I
the
feel like
body.
it's a really easy sell because as opposed to going into a clinic and having an additional thing, like you can do it from the comfort of your own home
Yeah.
and you can own
In the
it,
car.
right? You can do it in the car because yeah, you bring a second remote with it. So first of all, the packaging is excellent. I was not expecting it to come in a box like that and look that premium. And you had a great thing with the instructions in there.
Yeah.
You had the QR code with videos. Like it was really good. I was impressed with that.
Thank you.
Um, and it's very like premium product, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it's such an easy sell because you can do it from the comfort of your own home, and it's like a one-time purchase, right?
Hmm.
So which is
Yeah.
great. And like, what is kind of the range on these for like the end, suggested price
Right.
that you would have somebody like if they, you have the affiliate program, they can use their code or whatever, get it
Yeah.
on your website. You kick back
Mhm.
the profits, which was like 180 to 480 bucks. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
So
And like,
retail
what?
ranges from
Yeah,
450 to about $1,200
yeah, and
for
that's
each
not
unit.
that's not bad at all when you have
No.
something that's effective as a $28,000 machine
Yeah.
that doesn't take up space that they can do anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
And I actually sell like the same configuration of that $28,000 machine that I have. I
Uh-huh.
actually sell it to the clinics for, $9,500, like almost 10,000. Like it's because the person that I bought it from, it was like the manufacturer, the brand, the salesperson, and then me.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
me, and my mission is to get these out to help more people. And I've had people like, why don't you charge more? Like you could charge 20,000 for the same machine. I said, that's not the purpose of
Hmm.
getting these out to help more people. He's like, well, can you charge more? You just give the difference to my kid. Like, he was like joking, but I was like, that's not the purpose. But there's one more stream of revenue I was thinking is for like gym owners or wellness like centers, like it could be also like, hey, if you go to our higher tier, right? You get to have
Yes.
this and you get to use it while you're on this tier, right? It could still come back. And then at that point, if they've had it for 6 months and they don't return it or you don't see them, you've already gotten your money's worth through that higher tier as well,
Yeah. That's
right?
that's what I really like because I'm big on teaching everybody how to do high ticket offers. And
Yeah.
what else can you add, right, into your package, your program that
Hmm.
people are going to want, they are going to get value out of, that doesn't
Yeah.
really cost you a whole ton of money or is just funded from it.
Yeah.
And because volume is tough, volume acquisition is tough. And in our K-shaped economy, right, where the bottom 90% are losing purchasing power,
Yeah.
are getting eaten up by inflation, and it's harder to bring in volume. Focusing on the upper end of that K-shaped economy, the top 10% who are doing better since COVID, inflation, all that stuff. Those people are looking for these all-in-one solutions. Take the hint from Lifetime Fitness.
Yeah.
For me, my wife, and my two kids, we pay over $300 a month,
Hmm.
right? And it's just open gym membership, right? But we
Yeah.
get the childcare and we get the
Yeah.
recovery studio
Mhm.
that's in
Yeah.
there with all this kind of stuff. We
Hmm.
get this, we get this, we get this in a very nice place, and we're happy to pay it every month, and we pay it every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those people, how can you make their experience better? How can
Right.
you charge them more for more value? And that's what I kind of like about this. This is a easy ass thing to do, and it's something that everybody wants because if you're pitching it more for injury recovery joints
Yeah.
or for better skin or eyesight, you're
Yeah.
really speaking to the upper end of that K-shaped curve.
Yeah, and I think, I mentioned from 450 to 1200, but I forget we also have the blanket now, so that's like up to $7,000. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, there's a company who like our my blanket that is the 27 and a half by, well, the one we have right now is to 6 feet. We're making it a little bit shorter because it's a little too long, but that has almost 14,000 LEDs. And so that's where like we didn't talk about like how many LEDs we have. Like the closest one on the market has only 4,500 only. We have almost 14,000. Like the Face Dome has almost 1,998 LEDs. The smallest one has 450 LEDs. Like there is so much power because and oh, I want to touch on this because the newest thing is like we have laser, not LED. And a
Mm-hmm.
true laser is a machine in a doctor's office. If we're looking at a light, like we used to call them laser light, and I'll tell you, this is LEDs. The nice thing about LEDs is like when you like have a flashlight, what happens when you open it up and it broadens up the light, right? A laser, it's not truly laser because it can't go deeper, but it's just a light that just goes one point. But if you do LED, it's actually expanding to get more area.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're feeling so much. The lights are closer together. And I chose to be LEDs. So you have a broader area that is getting the recovery. So we're getting that whole area, not just that pinpoint. And the
Gotcha.
lasers cannot, the ones on the market now in a doctor's office, a laser machine is different. It's going in and it wants to pinpoint. And that's a specially trained doctor. But the pads on the market that say laser, honestly, all it is like an LED, but without being able to broaden, open up, and get a bigger area. So I want to share that because that's the biggest question people have been asking me lately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because the question that a lot of people are going to have is like, okay, what about like quality and this and that? Because I'm sure you can find some really dirt cheap stuff,
Yeah.
from Alibaba or something like that, right? And we get that a lot in health and fitness,
Yeah.
right? As a new thing
Yeah.
becomes the buzz,
Yeah.
then there's like the stuff that's actually the quality that works, and then there's the kind of the cheater imposter stuff
Yeah.
that doesn't quite do what it says it's going to do. They're just kind of like going off of the buzz in a way, right? You
And
get
they're
that with
just
like
slapping
stem
their name on a
cells, right?
product, right? They're just slapping
Right.
their name on a product saying, I made like actually I heard the silliest thing from another company and he's like, I created the 3 light diode. Mine has 3 lights diode. I didn't create that. I created how the spacing was and the power is what I worked on with engineers. Okay.
Hmm.
But he was like, oh, I created this diode. And I was, which the diode is what houses the light. I'm like, we've been having diodes in our pads since I started with red light 8 years ago. You didn't
Yeah.
create the diode. I was like, why are you saying that? Silly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
anyway.
this is awesome. I love it because
I have a
hopefully
code
this
for
gets
your
you
people
guys.
too.
Hopefully this gets you as listeners kind of thinking about the different ways you
Hmm.
could bring this into your scope of services. And again, like we deal with people with injuries all the time. Some of us just work around them in the gyms. Some of us are proactive and have them do the foam rolling or the stretching or the rehab exercises with us or on their own, whatever. But this is people are lazy. If there's one thing that we know, guys, is that the person with the bad knees or the lower back thing, they're not doing the mobility stuff that they need to as frequently as they need to. And this is proof by like it's easier to get people into your gyms by offering assisted stretching, manual stretching. It's easier. They are happy to pay your ass to have them lay on a table and you stretch them. They'll be 10 times more likely to do that than them stretching themselves. That's just human nature, right? And at the end of the day, this is one of those things where you can just sit or lay and have it done. And people are more likely to do it. I've actually done it, right? And for me, it fits in really nice at night because I read before I go to bed. Done. I can't wait to do this on my heel because of fencing. I had a big like 3 day tournament where I was using wrestling shoes and they weren't well padded, and my right heel from the intense striking is
Yeah.
very slow to heal. So I can't wait to use it on my right heel next. But it's something I just lay down and do and hit the on button.
And you can do it in the car, right? So
Yeah.
like you can put it on your back and drive. Like I had a sore neck. I just put a sweatshirt behind the pad and I just kept
Hmm.
driving, right? And so, and actually I was at a pickleball camp this weekend and one of the girls who had purchased one of my red lights, she was like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because every day I had heel pain and she purchased the red light for her heel and she uses it. It's not
Nice.
even tight anymore. She just proactive because it helps her feel better and it's healing. It's not even just warm. It's actually doing something for the body. That's
Yeah.
why I love red light. I can't get enough of it. That's why like it's, I guess I say consume my life. I can't not talk about it because
Yeah.
I've helped so many people like being able to walk again, right? Like that's huge. Like somebody wants to recover and they want to work out but they can't. And that's why like they're like, oh, you're not getting that back. How much is that? Here, let me just pay for it because you're not getting that back. Like
I
that's
love how you did that
awesome.
rental thing. And then like, yeah, just about everybody's just like, yeah, how much is it just to keep it then?
Yeah.
Right. That's really cool.
And they
That's
truly
really
work.
cool.
I tell people like, you know what? You got to try it. And the nice thing is people in your gym can try it. You get
Try
one.
it.
And I have an offer for your listeners too. So they can,
Oh,
text.
yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah. So like let's say somebody's listening like, "Hey, I want to try it myself or I want to just this is something that I want to look into offering in my gym, whether I carry inventory or I just do it with a affiliate thing and make extra money on this stuff." Like what
yeah.
tell people how they can kind of get in touch with you and all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah. So they can, let me get the code here. So they can text us. So they can text the word try 50, TRY 50 to the number 33777. Okay. And then with that, they can we can I have a link. Once they do that, they can put, just their name and email. I'll send them the code so they can
Mm-hmm.
get 50% off one device. They can try it. It doesn't matter which device.
Nice.
Yeah, I really want people to understand how amazing these are. Like I worked really hard with engineers to make sure that they were actually working and not just people buying something and it's not a fad, it's truly changing lives. Like, I've had
Mm-hmm.
over 5,000 people come to the clinic and almost all of them have used red light and it's truly been life changing. So, yeah, so texting that the try 50 let me give you that number again.
So text try 50 to, is it
33,
3377?
yeah, 33777.
777. Okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to put that in the show notes too. So if you guys are
Okay.
driving, you guys can find it in the show notes and get 50% off with that to try it yourself. And I mean, it's so important to do that kind of stuff. You can, when you realize the benefits of it, it's really easy to sell this stuff. This is why, as I started doing peptides and stuff, you guys have known from previous podcasts episodes, I'm like, holy shit, my body is changing. It's unreal. And like, once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. You're just like, dude, this
Right.
is incredible. And then other people are like, can I try that with you too? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
The stuff that works, it's really easy to sell, period.
Yeah. And you got to
So,
experience it. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm super excited. And so,
Well,
on that, when they put their information in, there'll be a link if if someone wants to have a consultation with me, just to listen, to ask me more questions. It's on
perfect.
there. Red Light Pro Devices is the website. You'll have it in the show notes as well. But again, they can just text, they'll get the code. If they want more information, I'd be more than happy to get on a phone call with them.
Awesome. We'll drop your email in there too. I think it's like the info@redlightprodevices.com.
Yeah.
So that way, yeah, if people are like, hey, can I get some inventory or can I set up the affiliate thing, right? Where they just make
It
the
costs
purchases
nothing.
through the website and
Yeah.
you handle all the work. So that way, if anybody, guys, if you got any questions for Penny, yeah, do the try 50 to 33777, redlightprodevices.com, info@redlightprodevices.com if you need to reach her personally. And thank you. I mean, 50% off is pretty awesome. So I'm sure that that's just at your cost, but like, that's pretty generous. And I appreciate you doing that for everybody.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Well, Penny, thank you so much. Appreciate you
Thanks,
guys. Appreciate you coming on and everybody listening. Like, share this with another gym owner or fitness professional, whether they're a chiropractor, a physical therapist, something like that, because this is very complimentary to a lot of different places. And I learned a lot. This is stuff that I've been meaning to learn a lot. I just didn't want to do the research. So I brought Penny on, and thank you so much, Penny. I appreciate you coming on. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.